Combine like terms. Like terms can be combined when they are the same. So let's look at an example 1 to see what this means. Solve for the following. We have 2b plus 2a minus 4b plus 5a plus 4b. So you can see we have a b and an a as different variables in this expression. So these are two different things. It is like saying you have two separate items like apples and oranges. So we can only add oranges together and we can only add apples together. So for this, let's go ahead and rewrite this in a way to show this. So we have 2b. So anywhere where there's a b, we're going to underline it. Then we have minus 4b plus 4b. Next we have a's. We'll just go ahead and box those. So we have plus 2a plus 5a. So we need to first add the b's together. So we have 2b. So what we do is we only look at the number when we're adding and subtracting. So we have 2 minus 4 plus 4. So this minus 4 and this plus 4 cancel each other out to be 0, and we're left with just 2b. Next we have 2a plus 5a. So we only look at the numbers when we add, which is equal to 7a. And we leave the variable as is. So this would be our solution in its reduced form. Now let's look at another example. Example 2. Solve for the following. So here we have 7x squared plus 1x minus 6x squared minus 6x plus 3x squared. Now we have the same x in each one, except these two are very different. X squared is not the same as x. There are two different things, so you have to treat them as separate, and therefore when we are adding, we're going to have to add only the ones that are x squared. So these are the ones we can add together, and then these we can add together. So let's go ahead and rewrite this in order to kind of see what we can do. So the first three terms we can add together because they're all x squared. And then how we look at it is we just look at the number. So we could go 7 minus 6. So that's 1x squared plus 3x squared is then 4x squared. Next we can look at 1x minus 6x, which we can go 6 minus 1, which is 5. But because the larger number is 6, we know we need to have it to be negative, so it's just minus 5x. And this would be our solution to this problem. Example 3. Solve for the following. We have minus 3x to the third y minus 3xy plus 6x squared y minus 2xy minus 3xy squared plus 5x. So we're going to go ahead and simplify as much as we can. Notice we have x and y in a lot of these terms, but if they are not exactly the same, where the x is raised to the same exponent or y, then they aren't the same. So let's look at this. So this first one, minus 3x to the third times y. Now there is no other term that looks like this. So this is its reduced form, so we can't add it or subtract it to anything else. Next we have minus 3xy. We're going to go 2 lines. Now we notice that this one is also just x and y, so we can add these two together. Next we have 6x squared y, which we notice that there's nothing else that looks like this. Next we have this x and y squared, that's all by itself, and then we just have this x. So the only ones that we can add together is this minus 3xy and this minus 2xy. So when we add those together, we just get minus 5xy. Then we're just going to rewrite everything else because everything else cannot be added or subtracted from the others. Then we have plus 6x squared y minus 3xy squared plus 5x. And this is its reduced form for this problem.